Hello, good afternoon, and welcome in here from South Greene High School for a Friday night in-county clash. North Greene, South Greene non-con affair. First pitch of the day right down Broadway for strike number one, and we're underway from south of the river. Courtney Bailey, the South Greene starting pitcher, the leadoff batter for the North Greene Lady Huskies is Addie Dean. She'll be playing third base today for the Lady Huskies. Clad in green today, the road team on the scoreboard as we have first pitch just 5 minutes before our scheduled time. Some troubling clouds, overcast cover here from South Greene High School. High chance of rain in the forecast. We'll keep you updated on that front. And if you're perfectly content staying at home watching the game, by all means, stay right there. Matthew Palazzo, Tyler Nichols, and Ethan Cooper, our three-man crew here today. Glad to have you along with us for some Friday evening Greene County softball. Nice spinner there by Bailey, and she's got her first punch-out of the day. Dean down on strikes, and with the one down, nobody on, North Greene will send the shortstop, Josie Graham, up to the plate. Josie, as we know, the reigning GSZ Player of the Week from her efforts last week. Big win over Morristown East for this North Greene team. That came on a Thursday, and then they followed that up with that loss against Elizabeth. And this week, a couple of wins already against district competition, Cloudland and University. They've been putting up some towering run totals. It's an offense that has really played well here in the early part of the schedule. Here's the 2-0 pitch. It's down in the dirt. I'll get you acquainted with this South Greene defensive lineup from left to right in the outfield. It'll go Ava Brobeck, Whitney Reeves, and Macy Roberts. In the middle infield, Haley Williamson at short and Sadie Knowles at second base. On the hot corner, the third baseman, Nevaeh Davis. At first base is Reagan Arwood as Josie Graham draws the 4-pitch walk. And we've got our first base runner of the evening. Of course, Courtney Bailey, the starting pitcher for South Greene in the circle. On the season, Bailey starting and appearing in all of the Rebels games thus far as Graham's going to try to steal here, gets around the tag, and we've got our first stolen base of the evening with Graham sliding. And that's a great look at it, too, right behind second base. So, Tyler Nichols, we'll come to you for our first time of the day. It didn't matter what age I was. I could have been 8 years old playing. I could have been 16 years old playing in high school. Always wanted to get down and just slide, even if it was unnecessary. And you never want to leave with a clean pair of white pants. I think that's the approach that we'll see at some points here today as we look at the clouds and see this rain starting to come in as well. It has been sprinkling on us, but what's your take on that? Just the unnecessary sliding. I think that one there by Graham a little bit more necessary than most. But.
That one was definitely necessary, but some players just like to slide. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the movement. I don't know if it reminds you of being at a water park, but sometimes it's just fun to slide.
Graham will move from second to third on the grounder by Hannah Brooks. She will reach safely, so productive out there for the Huskies. But with two down and a runner on third, the cleanup batter, Maddie Phillips, will step to the plate. So after a 4-pitch walk issued by Graham, a ground out by Hannah Brooks, North Greene down to their final out here in the top of the first inning. Some cooler weather as well. Wind starting to pick up.
Not a fan.
Home run ball definitely not going to be a fan either. That wind is blowing in. And it seemed like we turned the corner, Tyler. And just like that, we're back where we started a few weeks ago. Having to bundle up.
We have like 17 different type of winters here in the South. So whenever it gets warm in February or March, I just think about how sometimes you'll see it snow. I mean, it snowed on spring break this year. You can never predict the weather here in Tennessee no matter what.
Paisley Brobeck going to throw back to check Graham at third. Maddie Phillips down in the count to begin. Now tied up 1-1, and the laser beam shot back, but it's Courtney Bailey to record the third out of the inning. So despite the walk, a runner left stranded at third. South Greene and North Greene tied scoreless as we head to the home half. This is Greene County softball on First Horizon, Green Sports Zone.
So why sit on the sidelines when you could be driving a brand new Chevrolet, GMC, or Cadillac from Bachman, Bernard, in Greenville? Choose from the Silverado, Sierra, Terrain, Acadia, Equinox, Trax, Trailblazer, or Blazer. and wrap yourself in elegance and style while driving a Cadillac, Lyric, or the best vehicle on the planet, the Cadillac Escalade. So don't stumble, bumble, and fumble your way with other dealers. If we don't have it, we'll get it. Make the short trip to Bachman Bernard Chevrolet GMC Cadillac in Greenville, where we will save you money. For over 30 years, Tommie's Plumbing has proudly served the Tri-Cities with a personal touch, because we're not just plumbers, we're family. From simple faucet repairs to full plumbing repiping, we have the experience and expertise to get the job done right. We also specialize in water heater and tankless water heater installations, helping you find the perfect solution for your home. Our technicians stand behind their work and always leave your space clean and spotless. Looking for a plumber who's fast, professional, and reliable? Call Tommie's Plumbing and let our family take care of yours.
Welcome back into North Greene High School. South Greene High School, excuse me. A walk was all she wrote for North Greene in the top half as we begin our contest here on a Friday afternoon. A walk by Josie Graham. She was then left stranded at third after a line out back to the circle. Courtney Bailey with quick work in the first half inning. Now we'll get to see the first of Hannah Brooks. Man, she's been on a tear here this season for the North Greene Lady Huskies. 24 1/3 of work, making her 5th start of the season and her 6th appearance overall. A 2.3 ERA, 2-1 in the win-loss column. 35 strikeouts against 3 walks. I think that's the most impressive statistic to me, is that number, just 35-3, uber efficient and very effective so far in the circle this year for North Greene High School. Did so much for the Lady Huskies last season, the 2025 All-Greene County selection, over 100 innings pitched and a 3.01 ERA, 120 strikeouts, and she has picked up right where she left off from a year ago. First pitch is inside for a ball, and Whitney Reeves will jump ahead in the count early on. Whitney Reeves, the center fielder for the Lady Rebels. Brooks will rock and send one in. The pitch is lined up left field. Sutherland will move over to make the grab. Excellent job moving over to grab that one, or else it could have been extra bases. Well hit ball by Reeves there in the gap, but an even better played ball there by Traylon Sutherland. Used that lateral movement on the hardwood, making the transition over. Like a lot of these Lady Huskies, absent from the first week of the team's schedule, and then here in the second week, been able to slide in nicely as the Lady Huskies began district play. So first out of the inning is recorded on the Reeves flyout, and the first pitch of the at-bat thrown to Courtney Bailey is a strike inside. 0-1 the count on these two starting pitchers dueling against each other here in the bottom of the first. Bailey won the first matchup in the top half of the inning, as Brooks grounded out to the shortstop, and a pitch upstairs here will even up the count 1-1. South Greene, North Greene still scoreless as we start it from South Greene High School. Brooks will rock and send one in. Excellent pitch right at knee level for a strike. 1-2 the new count on Courtney Bailey. We're in trouble if we start having some sideways rain here today. A little tent cover out here in our location in left center field, but an excellent pitch there for strike 3. Hannah Brooks with her first punch out of the day, and it sends Courtney Bailey to the South Greene dugout.
I just don't want the rain to blow in. Sideways rain, it can go one of two ways, but I don't want it to come in because we've got the cameras in front of us. That will be a lot more of a headache, and everybody else will be able to see which way it's coming in then.
Yo to Brobeck, she'll swing right through it. Both these pitchers with strikeouts early on. Weather's definitely going to be the main theme, I think, for today. But credit to these two teams for braving the storm and going ahead with a regularly scheduled game. I believe Chucky Doak softball also in action today.
At Tri-Cities Christian.
They might be a little bit further away from the bulk of this weather.
West Greene going to Johnson County for a doubleheader.
North Greene, West Greene baseball in action as Brobeck sends this one out of play behind the chain link fence. You've also got Greenville softball in action against Davy Crockett.
Should be underway with that one.
Brobeck down in the count 0-2. Here's Brooks. Nice pitch. Strike 3. 2 of the 3 outs recorded as Hannah Brooks retires the side here in the bottom of the first inning. Back-to-back Ks as we move to the second. Still scoreless between North Greene and South Greene as you listen to Greene County Softball on First Horizon Greene Sports Zone.
your project needs power, Williams Electric Supply has it all. Find us in Bristol, Greenville, Johnson City, and Kingsport. Our knowledgeable staff can help you with every wire, cable, switch, and electrical need. No one does electrical better. Williams Electric Supply. Your home needs lighting. Williams Electric Supply has it all. A showroom full of ideas for lighting your home for comfort. Find us in Bristol, Greenville, Johnson City, and Kingsport for unique lighting and every perfect light fixture. No one does lighting better. Williams Electric Supply.
0-0 as we head to the top of the second inning. A 1-2-3 inning for the Lady Huskies on defense. A couple of strikeouts for Miss Hannah Brooks. And we head to the top of the second. Still scoreless between these two county rivals. Courtney Bailey spins in what looked to be a strike one. Saw no indication from the home plate umpire. But we'll call it a ball.
Now it is a strike.
Okay, so maybe he said something. Didn't hear it from our location out in the outfield. But it will be a ball in play. Trantham grounds it out to the left side, and a good play there. Was that the shortstop or the third baseman in Nevaeh Davis? Hey, it was the third baseman, Nevaeh Davis, who converged on the ball and made the throw across. So with one down and nobody on, we'll see North Greene's 6-hole hitter, Charlie Turnmeyer, the catcher. Turnmeyer, great season thus far for the North Greene Lady Huskies. Split duties last season at the catcher position with Josie Graham, but really blossomed late in the season during that state tournament run for the North Greene Lady Huskies. Turnmeyer, of course, a part of that tremendous sophomore class there at North Greene, as she'll send one right side. It's handled by Knowles to throw across just in the nick of time for out number 2. And a couple of groundouts to start this inning. Courtney Bailey has strung together a bunch of outs, has surrendered just the one walk, no hits. And has pitched excellently so far with her counterpart, Hannah Brooks.
A little bit of a pitcher's duel going on now, and I wouldn't mind that one bit with the rain. I don't want to say get out of here as soon as possible, but the weather kind of makes it less enjoyable.
Well, the outfielder is going to back up for good measure. Traylon Sutherland enters the right-hander batter's box. Tyler, you were there earlier this week in that game against Cloudland. She hit that towering grand slam over the trees in left field. We got one here that could go. Instead, it's in the right center field gap, and it's caught by Whitney Reeves. So it's allowed out to end the inning, and everybody can exhale. Still scoreless. The side retired. We head to the bottom of the second. 0-0 here on First Horizon, Green Sports Zone.
At Heritage Community Bank, we offer local banking with local decisions. Stop by any of our 3 convenient locations and see how Heritage Community Bank can serve your needs. We're here to stay. We're not for sale. We're not merging. We're local, and we intend to stay that way. From small business banking to personalized checking accounts with online and mobile capabilities, Heritage Community Bank can take care of all your banking needs. Visit us online at hcbonline.us, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
At many dealerships, you get what you'd expect. Games, gimmicks, and shady sales tactics. At Gateway Nissan in Greenville, expect the unexpected. Low prices, convenient service, and a great buying experience.
Get our Gateway exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty.
No worries for life.
You deserve the unexpected. It's the #1 reason you gotta get to Gateway.
Shop online at gatewaynissangreenville.com.
Or take the super short drive down Highway 11E to Gateway Nissan in Greenville.
Another 1-2-3 inning for the South Greene Lady Rebels. Still scoreless as we head to the bottom of the second. A pitcher's duel, as Tyler Nichols coined it, and certainly one of those games where you'd expect to be low scoring in conditions like this. Overcast, rainy, a little chilly here on a Friday afternoon as Brooks sends in the first pitch downstairs. A bunt will send it right side, fouled off the bat of the shortstop, Haley Williamson. Tyler, you were telling me about Haley earlier on. A very interesting story in that South Greene batting order.
A homeschooler who switches time between Chucky Doak and South Greene. You'll see her on, is she a senior?
Haley Williamson? I guess I probably should know that, huh? As the ball across the knees there. She is a senior, yes.
So you would have seen her this year on the soccer field and on the lanes at Holiday Lanes for Chucky Doak, and now she comes over in the spring season and plays softball for South Greene. So she wears many different colors and has many different talents, you could say.
She'll fall behind 1-2 here at the plate. Batting in that cleanup spot for the Lady Rebels Hannah Brooks has grabbed 2 consecutive strikeout victims. She'll look for a third straight as Williamson flies one foul over the trees down the right field line. Would say we're a little bit safer than we typically are as far as our cars are concerned, but we might be directly in the line of fire with some of the bats in the lineup here today. A lot of power in both of these teams' batting orders as Haley Williamson will put one into shallow right field for our game's first hit of the day. So the no-hit bid is over here in the bottom of the second for Hannah Brooks, that is.
Courtney still has a no-hitter going on at the moment. Just not a perfect game.
Yeah, if you're watching this back, Courtney, apologies. We have jinxed you here in the bottom of the second. But it could still very well be a duel here. Quick ground out here could very well end the inning. So, after the game's first base knock, we'll see Nevaeh Davis, the third baseman. Made that great play on the defensive side the last half inning. She'll dig in from the right-hand side here. Hannah Brooks gets the grip. Roxanne delivers. The 0-0 swung right through it, did Davis. And Brooks, and we talked about this with her mom, with Hannah herself, you don't know how many pitches there are in softball until you talk with one of these pitchers or one of these parents that have taught the girl all these pitches. I mean, Brooks, we were told, has 7 or 8, and they're all different. They all have different roles, if you will, and baseball, you're not going to see that a lot, especially at the high school level. You'll probably see 2, maybe 3 in a good pitcher's arsenal, but Brooks with 7 or 8 of those pitches she can go to. This one finishing upstairs, and the count moves against her favor, 2-1. Still scoreless bottom of the second here from South Greene High School. South Greene has really been the crown jewel in District 1 2A in recent years, bowing out in the region tournament last year against Eagleton Academy, I believe.
Correct.
And then North Greene, of course, with their state run a season ago, but certainly the 2 programs coming into the season in Greene County that many have circled as potential state tournament teams coming into 2026. Very talented rosters. Of course, South Greene's a bit more veteran. 3 balls, 1 strike to count. Brooks sends one in. Davis waves at it, and a strike is called to move the count full at 3-2.
A very senior-laden Lady Rebels team also. I believe 7 seniors in their starting lineup. That's a very experienced lineup with a lot of leadership.
Much like we saw him on the hardwood this winter as Davis swings and misses. Hannah Brooks records strikeout number 3 on the afternoon. He's retired 3 of the last 4 batters by way of the strikeout. And with 1 out, runner on first, Sadie Knowles, the second baseman, will step in. You talk about seniors. Knowles just a sophomore, so plenty of younger talent coming up the ranks here at South Greene as well. But it is incredibly top-heavy, I will say that, at least just by the look. Ava Brobeck, I think that might be Paisley's younger sister, also a sophomore on this team. Heidi Dean, who we'll see get some run in today's game, a sophomore. But other than that, I think, with the exception of Knowles as well, every other starter is a senior. So at least
complete opposite for North Greene.
Yeah.
With that large sophomore class and the addition of Addie Dean as a freshman.
Brooks sends in the 1-1. It's fouled off sharply against the fence.
Matthew, did you ever play MLB The Show?
2K12, I think, back when they were the 2Ks, not the show as much.
Okay. I was going to ask you a question, but I don't know if it would make sense to you knowing that it's been a little bit since you played one.
I wish I could say otherwise. Just never really got into the – and even the 2Ks, right, the Maddens.
Whenever
I'm a big NCAA guy, but other than that.
Pitching, you have your pitch arsenal, and you only have 5 to choose from because you have on the Xbox, you have the A, B, X, Y button with one of the bumpers, and on PlayStation, you have the triangle, circle, X, square with one of the bumpers. If Hannah's on the game and she has 6 different pitches, where's that 6th one going?
She's going to need a different controller. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swung on and driven into the South Greene dugout. Lady Rebels led for another year by Miss Amy Hawk. North Greene led by second-year head coach Avery Weems. His father, Danny Weems, the assistant in that North Greene dugout. A lot of familiarity in that South Greene dugout as will have a grounder to the right side here, and it's fielded by the second baseman, Eva Leonard. She will flip it up, and it is an out called as Knowles will ground out on the right side. So the bang-bang play. The Huskies are able to retire out number 2 here, and Macy Roberts, the right fielder, who had an excellent game in that win over Chucky Doak earlier this week, will step to the plate.
That's what I was going to say. She's swinging a hot stick right now.
Here's the 0-0. Big swing, but just missed. 2 outs, a runner in scoring position in Haley Williamson. That win over Chucky Doak earlier this week, a 12-3 decision to open up District 1 2A competition. Brooks, a pitch on the outside corner. It's left away for a ball, and that ties up the count 1-1. Brooks going to return to the circle. Looking to get out of the inning. Roberts, a big swing, and it looks like Brooks has dialed up that velocity just a tad bit here in the last 2 batters we've seen. Meanwhile, Macy Roberts is down to her final strike. Quickly moving. Back to the rubber she goes. Here's Brooks to fire in the 1-2, swing and a miss. Strikeout number 4 on the day, and the Huskies get out of a jam. Leadoff man jumps aboard, but no worries. Hannah Brooks able to strand the runner in scoring position. Still scoreless. We move to the 3rd. You're listening to North Greene and South Greene softball on First Horizon, Green Sports Zone.
Marathon Quick Stop Markets, you'll find a company that realizes that our customers are our biggest assets. We are a locally owned company, proud to serve our community. So we do everything with you in mind. We clean and sanitize our stores, provide a well-lit, monitored area to keep you and your family safe. You can always expect a friendly staff and a large selection of products with weekly specials. Stop in at a nearby Marathon Quick Stop Market today.
As the rain begins to pour down here from South Greene, a little bit more ferociously, I guess you could call it, a little bit faster. We head into the 3rd. Courtney Bailey fires in a first pitch strike. I guess you could say an unadvantageous weather-wise game here today for both of these offenses, possibly the defenses, as these conditions will make things a little bit more difficult. 1-1 the count as Bailey Roxon sends in the next one, and running in Kinley Eastep, wanting to get a bunt down, but just missed over top of it. Just the one hit for both of these teams combined through 2, and it came off the bat of Haley Williamson, but Courtney Bailey able to pull the string and record punch out number 2. She and Hannah Brooks going back and forth, trading, seeing who can get out of the inning the fastest.
And that's sort of what I expected coming into this matchup, too, and why I was so excited coming into this one, because you knew Hannah would pitch and you knew Courtney would pitch, and you knew both want to beat. I'm not saying they dislike each other and want to beat each other, but each team wants to beat each other as much as the other, because it's one of the funnest county rivalries that we have in softball.
Good to see the different approaches as well. Just so far, it seems like Bailey leaning more on those off-speed pitches, the breaking balls a little bit more. Hannah Brooks going to run that velo up, though, as Bailey rocks in, delivers the 0-2, and just barely eking by left of the third base bag. Foul, as Chloe Keys, the DP in the 9-hole, will see one more. 0-2. Brooks and Bailey so far combining for, I guess it could be a little unfair, but combining now for 6 strikeouts. Brooks has 4 of those strikeouts, but just the one hit allowed Neither of them allowing a run, as this one going to bounce off the glove of Davis at third. Knowles will grab the rebound, and we'll see how this is scored. But the Huskies have their first base runner since the second batter of the day. I'm going to go ahead and score that. I'll wait to see what Game Changer says.
I don't know who's running Game Changer.
We'll put the onus on them. I would call it, I'm not going to say what I would call it because they have just scored it. An error is what they called it. An E5. They'll erase the mistake essentially, but it is a fielder's choice here at second base. After reaching on the error, Keys is tagged out at second. The lead runner is sent down, and Addie Dean will reach on the fielder's choice. So it is an error. So the Huskies still hitless on the afternoon. And for the second time today, we'll see Josie Graham. The only other Husky to reach safely here today. She did it on a walk back in the top of the first. 1-0 the count. She has seen 5 balls here tonight. She'll see a 6th as Brobeck will look to gun the runner down, but sliding head first, avoiding the tag. It'll be Chloe Keys in safely. Nice job there. I don't see a ton of stolen bases, I think, in softball compared to baseball. I feel like we do see a little bit more in high school baseball, but both these teams already today have tried to steal a couple. Brobeck going to throw behind the runner at second. The Milligan University softball signee. And Brobeck will turn her attention immediately back to Josie Graham. It's a strike, and Graham will see her first strike of the day. Before that, it had been seven straight balls for the shortstop seeing. Here's a 3-1. Way outside. Graham will take first, and Addie Dean, the runner at second, will advance to third. North Greene with runners at the corners now with 2 outs, seeking their first run and their first hit. So a second base on balls for Josie Graham. And you got, this whole North Greene lineup is just littered with offense, but Hannah Brooks, a pretty good person to have up with 2 runners on and a chance to knock your first run of the game in. She'll see the first strike low across the knees. They'll try to throw down to third, but it gets past the third baseman's glove. Dean will score from third, and we break our scoreless tie. North Greene strikes first, 1-0 on the South Greene mistake. Brobeck looking to gun the runner back down and keep her honest at third, but it just got under the glove of Davis there at third base and allowed Addie Dean to coast into home standing up as that one was down the left field line. It also allows Graham to move into scoring position now at second. Huskies take the first lead of the day at 1-0. The 1-0 pitch, driven by Brooks over the third baseman's head, and Graham will be sent around to score from second base. Huskies lead 2-0 on the Hannah Brooks single. First hit of the day, and it yields big-time results. RBI 2-out single for Miss Hannah Brooks to put the Huskies on top 2-0.
That's a way to crank the game open a little bit, force them to make a decision there behind the plate and put some pressure on them and see how they react, and then get a big hit for yourself to help yourself whenever you go into the circle the next inning.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you can just help yourself and give yourself that run support.
It's the beauty of it in high school athletics. You don't see that anymore with universal DHs now, but it is a cool little notion in high school that you still have pitchers that also hit and can help themselves on the mound.
Haley Williamson going to move in from her shortstop post to have a word with Courtney Bailey. I believe we were waiting for some balls to be returned, and Bailey will get one back in the circle. I was thinking for a moment we might have had a change, but it looks like Maddie Phillips will stay in there in that 4 spot, as a first pitch finishes away for a ball. And Phillips will be ahead in the count 1-0. North Greene with the game's first runs. They lead it 2-0. Phillips bounces one left side foul territory over the fence here at the ballpark. South Greene, an interesting layout here at their softball park, but a good one at that. A lot of fans represented from both sides. I'd say probably a 60-40 partisan split in favor of South Greene. And we've got another weather pod here, Tyler, down that right field line.
Yes, we do. We need to get us our own weather pod.
We might need a couple of them. Protect all this equipment. It is a 1-1 count to Maddie Phillips here, who lined out back to the circle her first time up. She's got a lot of pop in that bat, and she'll dig back in. Bailey starts immediately. The 1-1. There is a courtesy runner in over at first for North Greene. And that is Kylie Listick, the sophomore. She's getting a little antsy over there at first. Thought Brobeck might have tried to throw back. Bailey spins into 2-1. Listick nearly caught there again at first, but then again, Bailey fires in a ball, and the count moves further in Phillips' favor. 3-1 pitch, dribbled on the ground through the gap into left field. It goes between the legs of the left fielder, waved around to score as Listick. Moving from first to third is Maddie Phillips, and she will be in standing up. A single plus 2 bases due to the error, and North Greene puts another on the board. They lead at 3-0. So Coach Hogg going to call for a change here defensively, and it will be Sadie Knowles, the second baseman, moving out to left field. So she and Ava Brobeck will swap places here in the top of the third. A game through 2 innings that just blazed by, where not a lot of offense was had, but North Greene, who was held hitless for the first 2 innings with back-to-back singles now, gets on the board thanks to a South Greene mistake. Well, 2 actually in the inning. Has taken a 3-run lead. Here's the 0-0. It's upstairs on Heidi Trantham. This iteration of the Civil War, North Greene, South Greene on a Friday evening now. Less than ideal weather perhaps contributing to some of these mistakes that we've seen in the half inning. Bailey missed upstairs again. It's 2-0. Inside on Trantham, the first baseman. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out, looking to reach for the first time today. Bailey's pitch count up to 43. And it'll be a 4-pitch walk issued to Heidi Trantham. Third walk issued on the day by South Greene pitching. And North Greene will have runners at the corners now with 2 outs. This 2-out rally has been the cause of this 3-run explosion here in the half inning. This one is driven right side to Reagan Arwood. She will step on the bag, no problem, but the inning is over and some damage is done. North Greene with 3 runs on 2 hits, a South Greene error aiding the process, and the Huskies take a 3-run lead to the bottom of the third. You're listening to Greene County Softball as our Bachman Bernard Game of the Week presented by Tommie's Plumbing.
In Greenville, we blend beauty with Southern charm.
From sharp cuts to flawless color and perfect extensions, we make dream hair real.
As milkshake experts, we deliver exclusive treatments, glosses, and pro product advice. Finish your look with nails and waxing done with care.
Relax and recharge with our signature Japanese head spa.
Come experience the Main Brand difference. At the Main Brand Hair Company,
we wrangle your tangles!
At Food City, we make it easy for you to shop your way. Order online and pick it up curbside, or have it delivered straight to your door with Instacart or DoorDash. Nobody does food like Food City. And now, get it straight from our doors to yours.
Value every day, Food City.
3 runs on 2 hits and 2 South Greene errors aiding the process for the North Greene Lady Huskies in the top of the third inning. Huskies, who went without the hit in the first 2, had a 2-out RBI single from Hannah Brooks as she provided herself some more run support. And also her courtesy runner who came in to score on that single by Maddie Phillips, which was extended to a three-bagger after the error out and left. So now we turn our attention to the South Greene batting order as it will turn itself over. 8, 9, and 1 due up. Dean, Arwood, and Reeves for a second time as we hop into the bottom of the third. So strikes, a little bit of an issue there for Courtney Bailey in the half inning. She has walked 3 here today and struck out 2 others. And a first pitch strike at the knees of Heidi Dean will start her at bat. Hannah Brooks through 2 has been near flawless. A hit surrendered, no runs, 4 strikeouts, and has not surrendered a free bag. Swinging right through it there is Dean. Pitch count at 30 entering the inning for Hannah Brooks. I feel like I should mention it. I mentioned it more in baseball, but still interesting to see just how many pitches they've thrown. And for Hannah Brooks, it's been a lot of strikes. Another strikeout for Hannah as she has 5 on the day. And this one is the first out of the inning.
34 pitches, 27 strikes.
She has faced 1 more than the minimum. And 5 of her 8 outs recorded have come by the strikeout. 5 of the 7, have come by the strikeout. She'll start ahead here on the 9-hole batter in Reagan Arwood. Arwood going to swing past this spinner low in the zone, and Brooks jumps ahead and 0-2. Brooks dealing, showing no signs of slowing up. We'll reach for that blue towel in the back pocket. Rock and send in the 0-2. It's skied back by Arwood. Foul ball and out of play. First time out here at the South Greene softball field.
Ever?
Yes.
Really? I spent a lot of time out here in my 4 previous years.
Brooks finishing low here. Didn't realize how close it was to the Asheville Highway.
Yeah.
I mean, we are literally,
I'd
say 30 yards.
Traylon Sutherland home run being
yes.
a hazard for anybody.
Out in right
by.
field, it's probably like 10, 15 yards away from the Asheville Highway. Brooks with her first ball of the inning. She'll pump one in. Arwood rolls over it and sends one foul.
Nice facility, though. I love how much space you have out here in the outfield. Reminds you a little bit of Chucky Doak. Just a lot of space out there to deal with.
And it is interesting, too, because it may even be a better spot to put a baseball field. I was looking at their baseball field earlier, of course, how it runs into the football field. And you've got a direct line where it separates the green grass from, let's call it the not-so-green grass, and where all that dead football field grass has been. And it's just a direct line from left to right. It probably goes from foul pole to foul pole, and it stretches out. And a lot of your outfield is miscolored.
Sometimes that's what you deal with when you're a small school.
Another strikeout for Brooks. That's number 6 on the day. Three straight Ks as well. And again, that number just continues to jump off the page. 6 of her 8 outs recorded have been by the strikeout. And I'm not even sure if you wouldn't probably even have as much or more room here if you traded places with softball and baseball. But at least you wouldn't have that problem with sharing the football field, I think, if you move the softball field over that other side of campus. Strike inside here. Brooks has thrown so many. I mean, we looked at that number, Tyler, midway through that Chucky Doak game, and she was up 80% strike percentage, which is just unreal.
Right on that right now.
This one's hit nicely. It's off the glove of the second baseman, Leonard, out into right field, and Eastep will relay it in. South Greene with their first hit in quite some time. At least I'll call it a hit. We'll see how it's scored. The other one wasn't so kind to the defense. And it's Whitney Reeves getting on board for the first time today. The South Greene center fielder. Nice piece there with 2 strikes and 2 outs. Now with 1 on and 2 outs, we'll see Courtney Bailey due up for a second time today. 0 for 1 with a K. She and Brooks dueling, staring down at each other. So Brooks has a ground out and a single against Bailey. Bailey's got a strikeout, and we'll see what the second at-bat will hold. 1-0 as Bailey sees ball 1 upstairs. Paisley Brobeck in the on-deck circle. Brooks Roxanne sends one in. It's low, and Bailey swings over top of 1. 1-1, the updated count. Good to see some kids playing out here in the outfield, too. The Nerf ball, Nerf football, as infamous as it is, also making an appearance here on a Friday afternoon, albeit rainy. Nice pitch on the 1-1. It's low and away, and it'll miss for a ball.
The best atmosphere was that Eagleton Region Tournament game you mentioned earlier. It was during school at like 11 a.m. or at noon. It was after testing, so you had kids out here that filled the whole entire campus. So it was like, I don't know how to describe it. You ever been to the kids' games at the Flyboys and like minor league baseball?
Tuscaloosa does that education game.
Yes, it felt like one of those because you had South Greene kids and fans just everywhere out here. You had lawn chairs around the whole outfield.
That's a really, really good thing for this sport. Bailey lifts one high to left field. Chasing it back is Traylon Sutherland, and North Greene will get out of the inning. A couple of saves by Sutherland out there in left, and North Greene able to scratch another 0 here in the home half. We go to the 4th. North Greene leading 3-0. You're listening to Greene County Softball. This is the Bachman Bernard Game of the Week presented by Tommie's Plumbing.
Whether you ride, haul, or work, CNC has what moves you from dirt roads to job sites. We've got the gear to get you there. Hard-working equipment, helpful people, and honest advice. Whether you haul tools, toys, or livestock, CNC Custom Trailers has the equipment you need and the upgrades you want. CNC Custom Trailers, where you're more than just a customer, you're a neighbor.
We wave hi to Opie, and we wave hello to the top of the 4th inning. 3-0 North Greene as the officials are getting together here at the circle along with South Greene. Okay, looks like the defense will come out onto the field. They were taking a look at the dirt inside the pitching circle and also at the rubber there. As the rain continues to fall here south of the river on a Friday afternoon, both of these officials with some deliberation. Of course, it is, according to TSSAA guidelines and regulations, it is to the officials' discretion whether to postpone a game or to cancel a game. And it looks like we will have a new pitcher out on the mound as well, or in the circle, that is, for South Greene. It will be Nevaeh Davis. As a couple of defensive changes come in for South Greene, it will be a switch for the pitcher and the third baseman as Bailey moves to third and Davis moves to the circle. So very interesting here start to the 4th inning. A little delayed due to that discussion. And the officials will also give Davis some time to warm up. I've called him Blue. I've called him ump. Can you call them officials, Tyler?
You can. And it's also a lot. You have to change your mindset when you're doing a softball game because you want to say on the bump, toe in the rubber, on the mound, but it's a circle, and is there a rubber? I guess there is, right?
I've never say so.
There is. So shout out to Whitney for letting us know, but it's so much different when you go from baseball to softball.
Sutherland grounds one right side through the gap and into the outfield. So a nice piece there by Traylon Sutherland as she will lead things off with the Huskies' third base hit of the day. As we start the top of the 4th inning, Traylon Sutherland will reach on board for the first time.
Bailey,
and
go ahead.
Nevaeh Davis' first batter face going to reach aboard safely. What were you going to say there?
Bailey finished 15 batters, pitched a complete 3 innings, 2 hits as we get a bunt down.
E-Step lays it down right side, and the Rebels won't get a throw off. It was Arwood that came in charging, fielded it cleanly, but nobody covering first in time. And just like that, North Greene with 2 aboard, no outs here in the top of the 4th.
Not the way you want to start if you get out there with a new pitcher, but inning's not over yet. A lot of people like me, you get pessimistic. You see 2 on base, and you're thinking, man, we're going to score something right here. But at the same time, you know how easy it is to get out of an inning. It's so easy to score with 2 on with no outs, but it's so easy to get out of it. If you get a pop fly right here and then a double play, you're out of it. If you get a double play, then a strikeout, you're out of it. Just because you got runners on doesn't mean you can't get out of it.
That's why you see so many teams want to sacrifice when they have less than 2 outs and a runner on, because you don't ever want to ground yourself into that tailor-made double play ball. And like you said, it could be over as quickly as it started.
And there's pros and cons, too. You think, let's waste an out right here and get a sack bunt down, move the runners from second to third, but then, a strikeout and then a pop fly ends it when maybe that pop fly could have been a sack with just 1 out. You don't know.
Huskies going to lay down another bunt here. Will be fielded and thrown this time. North Greene was a little aggressive on the base pass. They'll throw across the diamond, but Traylon Sutherland will be 90 feet away or 60 feet away from scoring over there at third. Huskies with 2 in scoring position, 1 out in the top of the 4th inning.
Yeah, 60 feet away is also something that's tough to get used to. Whenever you go from baseball to softball games, it's tough to transition and flip your mind into those different modes.
So back to the top of the order. Addie Dean due up with 1 out. This one is skied up right center field. Moving over is Whitney Reeves. She'll make the grab. The relay not in time. North Greene leads it 4-0. A job done by Addie Dean on the RBI sac fly. And North Greene able to plate one of its 2 runners on, also advancing E-Step from second to third in the process. So with 2 outs, a runner at third, Josie Graham due up for a 3rd time. She's 0 with 2 walks drawn, and she has seen just 1 strike so far in her 3 at-bats now.
She might have more walks than hits this year, and I'm not even joking.
That on-base percentage has just skyrocketed for Josie Graham. It's good to see here in her sophomore campaign. Just an all-around standout in all 3 sports, just like her mother at North Greene High School. 3-0 the count on Josie Graham. We might see another walk drawn here by the sophomore shortstop. And Avea Davis back to the circle. 3 balls and no strikes, and it will be another 4-pitch walk here as Brobeck throws behind once more. It'll squeak out into left field, and Graham will look to grab second, sliding in head first. It's a 2-bag walk there by Josie Graham. North Greene going to plate 1 more. 5-0 on the errant throw.
Well, that's something you don't see every day.
Well, no matter how you get him, I guess you'll take it. And North Greene has put up 2 more.
How many walks has Graham had today?
3.
3. She has 8 walks on the year now, and she only has 4 hits.
Wow.
She has double the amount of walks as hits now.
This one gets past Brobeck, but the runner will stay at second here. So it's ruled an error on the catcher, Paisley Brobeck, which advanced Kinley E-Step into home, and Graham also into second on the same error. Diving out, unable to make the grab here is the 3rd baseman for South Greene. It's going to result in a runner on and Hannah Brooks. The new 3rd baseman of the game, it's Heidi Dean. I don't know, do we have Courtney Bailey's now moved over to second base. That'll be it for the defensive changes. Courtesy runner in for North Greene. Is that Listick once again? She was the courtesy runner the first time around. I can't get a great read on that number through the falling raindrops.
You wonder if that's becoming an issue also with the pitching.
Here's the 0-0 pitch, and I'd venture to say yes.
After seeing that pitch right there, you almost think so.
And you can see Davis also reaching, and she's trying to dry that handoff before each and every pitch. As she'll reach back and throw the 1-0. It's lifted up left side, infield, moving in, and caught by Dean to end the inning. But North Greene able to play 2 more. They lead at 5-0 as we head to the home half. You're listening to Greene County Softball on First Horizon, Greene Sports Zone.
When it comes to healthcare, no one wants to feel rushed. At Abundant Healthcare Clinic in Greenville, we take the time to listen, explain, and truly care. We're a nonprofit clinic backed by 60 years of experience from Evergreen Life Services. From sports and routine physicals to common illnesses and minor injuries, we focus on you, not the clock. Call 423-278-2501 to schedule your appointment today. Abundant Healthcare Clinic. We take the time. Others don't.
So why sit on the sidelines when you could be driving a brand new Chevrolet, GMC, or Cadillac from Bachman Bernard in Greenville? Choose from the Silverado, Sierra, Terrain, Acadia, Equinox, Trax, Trailblazer, or Blazer. And wrap yourself in elegance and style while driving a Cadillac, Lyric, or the best vehicle on the planet, the Cadillac Escalade. So don't stumble, bumble, and fumble your way with other dealers. If we don't have it, we'll get it. Make the short trip to Bachman Bernard Chevrolet GMC Cadillac in Greenville, where we will save you money.
Two more runs put up in the top of the 4th inning by the North Greene Lady Huskies. They lead it 5-0 as we start the bottom of the 4th. As you can tell by the image on your screen, the grip, the rain, obviously issues here today for both of these two teams. We saw a pitching change in the top half by South Greene as Courtney Bailey's day was done, and we saw instead Nevaeh Davis come in to throw. Hannah Brooks is still out there, and she has dealt so far here today.
Not quite 80%, but 75% of her pitches are strikes today.
And that is still so
36
impressive.
of 46.
Roback going to see ball 1 low. North Greene with 2 more runs. And a game which started as a low-scoring slugfest has now turned into an error-filled, I guess you could say slugfest, for one side at least. A couple of errors for South Greene. 4 on the day. All 4 coming in the last 2 innings, so that has really hurt the Rebels' chances here in the early going of this one. So Coach Weems going to send in a dry ball from the dugout. Nice hands.
Former Chucky Doak head coach Gene Ward behind the plate today.
Oh, that was Gene. Okay. I thought he looked familiar. Couldn't tell really from, I guess, our vantage point. But you had pointed him out, and I was beginning to ask. I was like, is that Coach Ward? The bottom of the 4th, no outs, nobody on. Brobeck ahead, 3-1.
Is it a good idea just to take right here? You know she's been throwing strikes all day, but you've not been able to get many base runners on. Do you take right here and see if the wetness kind of forces her to throw one outside the zone?
I probably would. Paisley Brobeck has the green light, though, and will swing through the 3-1 pitch.
I would have swung at that one, too, though.
That was a meatball right down center of the plate. Brooks took a little off of it. We'll see what she dials up here for the payoff pitch. It's downstairs, and he will ring her up. Oh, my goodness. That one was way out of the zone, and that was the incorrect call. I'll have to get a replay on that one. That was a very questionable strike call.
I'm glad we don't have a crowd mic today.
Strikeout there for Paisley Brobeck. It's her second for Hannah Brooks. She's been dealing. 7 strikeouts for Hannah Brooks here today. The third base coach for South Greene having a discussion with the home plate umpire. A little deliberation happening down there. I call it heated fellowship.
Meeting of the minds, and we're heading to the dugout.
So I believe we're going to put a pause in play as North Greene is starting to line up here. I believe they might have just called ball game.
Wow.
Okay, so that looks to be the case. I thought I might have heard one of the officials shout ball game, so it is up to their discretion. And I believe after a certain amount of innings has been played, you're really able to do what you so please, but
I don't know.
Not at all how we expected this one to end.
I don't know when the point is in high school softball. I know Major League Baseball, I think it's 7. I think after the leading team bats in the 7th, or maybe the home team. I can't remember, but ending it in the 4th with 1 out.
I think you've got to play halfway through, so I think it is at least 3.5, and I guess for the home team, you'd have to make it at least to the top of the 4th. I'd have to check that, but
that's a first.
Very unusual into a ball game here. Not at all how we expected when we pegged this one as our game of the week, but
not thrilled with it.
Wow. Okay, we'll do some studying through the break. We'll come back. We'll tell you a little bit more about how this one transpired. A rainy day from South Greene, but North Greene prevails. 5 runs put up in the 3rd and 4th inning. A rain cut short ball game here on a Friday afternoon, and North Greene takes it by a final in 4, 5-0. It's Huskies, and we'll tell you all about it in our post-game show when we come right back. This has been the Bachman Bernard Game of the Week presented by Tommie's Plumbing.
So why sit on the sidelines when you could be driving a brand new Chevrolet, GMC, or Cadillac from Bachman Bernard in Greenville? Choose from the Silverado, Sierra, Terrain, Acadia, Equinox, Trax, Trailblazer, or Blazer. And wrap yourself in elegance and style while driving a Cadillac, Lyric, or the best vehicle on the planet, the Cadillac Escalade. So don't stumble, bumble, and fumble your way with other dealers. If we don't have it, we'll get it. Make the short trip to Bachman Bernard Chevrolet GMC Cadillac in Greenville, where we will save you money. For over 30 years, Tommie's Plumbing has proudly served the Tri-Cities with a personal touch, because we're not just plumbers, we're family. From simple faucet repairs to full plumbing repiping, we have the experience and expertise to get the job done right. We also specialize in water heater and tankless water heater installations, helping you find the perfect solution for your home. Our technicians stand behind their work and always leave your space clean and spotless. Looking for a plumber who's fast, professional, and reliable? Call Tommie's Plumbing and let our family take care of yours.
Project needs power. Williams Electric Supply has it all. Find us in Bristol, Greenville, Johnson City, and Kingsport. Our knowledgeable staff can help you with every wire, cable, switch, and electrical need. No one does electrical better. Williams Electric Supply. Your home needs lighting. Williams Electric Supply has it all. A showroom full of ideas for lighting your home for comfort. Find us in Bristol, Greenville, Johnson City, and Kingsport for unique lighting and every perfect light fixture. No one does lighting better. Williams Electric Supply.
At Heritage Community Bank, we offer local banking with local decisions. Stop by any of our 3 convenient locations and see how Heritage Community Bank can serve your needs. We're here to stay. We're not for sale. We're not merging. We're local, and we intend to stay that way. From small business banking to personalized checking accounts with online and mobile capabilities, Heritage Community Bank can take care of all your banking needs. Visit us online at hcbonline.us, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
At many dealerships, you get what you'd expect. Games, gimmicks, and shady sales tactics. At Gateway Nissan in Greenville, expect the unexpected. Low prices, convenient service, and a great buying experience.
Get our Gateway exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty.
No worries for life.
You deserve the unexpected. It's the #1 reason you gotta get to Gateway.
Shop online at gatewaynissangreenville.com.
Or take the super short drive down Highway 11E to Gateway Nissan in Greenville.
An interesting development here from South Greene High School. We told you incorrectly to begin with. We said it was final 5-0, but through confirmation with Tate Russell, we learned that it is a suspended ball game. So the game is halted in the bottom of the top of the fourth inning, or the bottom of the fourth, with 1 out and South Greene up at the plate. So these teams will reconvene when they next meet Monday, April 13th. So not a final, just a pause in play. Obviously, you can't do much about the weather. You can only do so much. You can't halt the rain, which was certainly an issue here today. We saw it affect both pitchers at times. We saw it affect a lot of the defense, mainly on South Greene's part, who really struggled to field the ball there in the top of the fourth and the top of the third inning. But the rain puts an early end to this one. Our game of the week is cut short by a few innings, 5-0. North Greene leading it in the bottom of the fourth with the 1 out. So these two teams will play a game and a half when they next meet on Monday, April 13th. But until now, I guess to be determined. Tyler, obviously a bummer, not what you want to see, not when you go into a game expecting so much for a game to end up as, but sometimes you play the hand that you're dealt, and today that's what we were dealt as the rain continues to fall here. Kind of a fitting end to what was a rather disappointing afternoon of softball.
Yeah, a little annoyed, not thrilled with the way this one ends, because I was so excited all week when we finalized this game as our game of the week, because it's such a fun rivalry. Two of the better teams in our county in the sport of softball, two rivals that love to play against each other. It's always highly competitive. It didn't seem that way today. South Greene struggled in the little bit of time that they did get to play North Greene, took advantage of some errors and some walks, and sitting 5-0 right now and suspended due to weather. So definitely not what we were looking forward to today, not the way that we want to end this week's game of the week. But when you get into fall and spring, whenever you're not indoors in a gym, you kind of just have to deal with it sometimes.
And it was a game, too, where not a lot of offense was had. Now, was that because of a rain? Well, possibly so, but let's look through these stats. Not exactly our final statistics, but I guess our stats at where we leave off here in the bottom of the fourth with 1 out. And regardless of how this weather came to be today, no matter how this game came to be in the end, it doesn't take away from the performance that Hannah Brooks had in the circle. She was phenomenal for North Greene. The Lady Huskies, we'll read you the lines, how we have them. I just feel bad reading everything off like a final score, but North Greene with 5 runs on 5 hits, 1 error, leaving 5 runners on base. South Greene with no runs on 1 hit. They commit 4 errors and leave 2 runners stranded. Hannah Brooks, as we mentioned, fantastic in the circle here today, as Brooks spun in, well, 4 complete, not exactly 4 complete, but 3 1/3 innings of work working into the 4th inning, surrendering just the 1 hit, no runs, 7 strikeouts, and no walks. And as Tyler touched on many times here tonight, it was a very high efficiency day for Ms. Hannah Brooks. 54 pitches, 39 of which were strikes. She faced 12 batters, which was 2 more than the minimum. Of course, the 1 hit here today, and also the 1 error that allowed the South Greene base runner to land safely back in the 3rd inning when Whitney Reeves would reach due to the error. But a standout of the day, regardless of the weather and the postponement of today's game, is Hannah Brooks. She was fantastic. For North Greene, they were led by 4 different players with 1 hit apiece. They get Addie Dean, Josie Graham, Traylon Sutherland, and Kinley Estep, each with a hit here today. 2 RBIs on the day for the North Greene Huskies, 1 for Dean and 1 for Brooks. You did have a 3-walk day from Josie Graham, which was interesting to see just in her 3 at-bats. South Greene was led by, well, Haley Williamson, the Rebels' lone hit of the day, coming by the senior at shortstop. Courtney Bailey would start the game for South Greene. She would go 3 innings of work, allowing 2 hits, 3 runs, all of which unearned, striking out 2 and walking 3. Nevaeh Davis would come in to relieve the last inning and allow 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 of which was earned, no strikeouts and 1 walk for the Rebel pitching charge. Hannah Brooks shines once again, and will postpone this one in the bottom of the 4th, resume it Monday, April 13th. Not exactly how we wanted to end this one, but well, maybe we'll get a better one. We'll get an extra game, if you will, when these two teams meet again in a couple weeks at North Greene High School. Further thoughts? Any further concluding thoughts, Tyler, as we will say goodbye on a rainy, rain-soaked Friday?
Nah, I've pretty much moved on from the game. More now just worried about, breaking all this equipment down and then having to take the tarp down and stuff. It's going to be a 2-shower day, it looks like, because we're definitely going to get a shower out here right now. Did you bring anything with a hood on?
No, I
didn't
completely forgot the rain jacket.
So
we didn't come prepared. Tate Russell did. Let us not glance over. That was the worst strike call I've ever seen on a strike 3 right before the game got postponed. That was it. That was incredible. Anyways, glad you could tag along on a Friday afternoon. Apologies for Mother Nature posing an inconvenience. We will pick it back up Monday, April 13th. Maybe it'll be our continuation of the Bachman-Bernard GSZ Game of the Week presented by Tommie's Plumbing. But until next time, North Greene leads at 5-0. We're still in the bottom of the 4th inning. This has been another installment of our Game of the Week. For Tyler Nichols and Ethan Cooper, Tate Russell as well, for all of their due diligence here today. You can check our socials at Green Sports Zone online and also on the web to read more about this rain-shortened Friday afternoon contest. I'm Matthew Palazzo. So long, good night, and God bless from South Greene.